The rank of many political leaders in Africa are thieves. Let's call them by their name.
Did you know that 1 out of every 3 bulbs that is lit in France is actually powered by the uranium from Niger? Now, the unfortunate truth is that 82% of Nigerians do not have access to electricity. How sad. Now, take it or leave it. The coup that had just happened in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, as sad as that is, has gone ahead to unravel some truth about the current reasons why most of the African countries have been underdeveloped. Like the saying would go, you can fool some people all the time, you can fool all the people sometime, but you can never fool all the people all the time. Now, in the light of unraveling of the truths that is happening in Africa, I'd love you to hear from one of the very erudite fellows in Africa by name P.L.O Lumumber. He was the former director of the Anti-Corruption Commission in Niger. He's very erudite. He went to hide to unravel some truth that you really would not hear from the likes of CNN, Al Jazeera, and some of these international brands. Why? Because most of these words are censored. Now here you are hearing most of this truth from P.L.O Lumumber. Please do well to hit the comment section and do well to give us a like as a means of courtesy so that YouTube can recommend this video for others to see, because we trust that most of these African leaders are going to be watching this video either directly by proxy. My name is Moses. Don't go anywhere because I'll be back to wrap up the video.
A leader must have vision. You've got to see the big picture. Do we have such leaders? Whether it's in the political arena, you are typical African so-called leader. I don't use leader when I'm talking about African politics, because it's an insult to the word. Their agenda is thinking from one election to the other. No big ideas. You go to China, see big thinking. The Chinese are now thinking about how they will relate to Africa 100 years from today. 100 years from today. None of us will be alive. None of them will be alive. That is why you go to any serious university in Africa now, they have a Confucius Institute. They are here to take charge of your mind so that you begin thinking like Chinese. They are teaching your children, you of the middle class, your children, you now tell them learn English and learn Mandarin. Because they are creating leaders in their own image. You know, when there was the conference in Sharm el-Sheikh, the COPs 27, Nigeria had the largest delegation with 486 or thereabouts, followed by Kenya with 386 for thereabouts. China had 193 or thereabout. The United States 186 or thereabout. Half of the individuals from Nigerian and Kenyan delegation were dead weight who were shopping in Sharm el-Sheikh. They had no idea what was happening. So when they come, they are now waiting for the conference in United Arab Emirates on 23rd to 25th November this year. Yet some individual in some ministry in this country authorized that they go. And all of them possibly were traveling business class. Those are not leaders. Those are thieves. And when you have such individuals controlling your affairs, you can't go far. That leadership is about honesty. That is the point that I'm trying to make. That you are not a leader until you are honest. Leadership is about courage. And courage does not mean recklessness. It's about doing the right thing in a manner that is orderly. Are we courageous? Are you prepared to speak your mind without fear of consequence? It's lucky that you don't have the minister in charge here. If he was here, many of you here would be groveling, Mr. CS, Mr. CS. That's what we do in Africa. We see public officials and we go on a worship mode. And we don't tell them the truth. So somebody who is a CS, somebody who is a PS is being worshipped and you claim you are a leader. Leadership is about empathy, about building a team. I was telling some young men that one of the things that amazes me and annoys me at once is when African countries go for team sports. Right now, there is the women's football in New Zealand and Australia. And when African countries score a goal and lose, the newspapers in Africa report that African team has done very well. They scored a goal. But I thought people went there to win. When an African team reaches the quarterfinals of the World Cup, we say, oh great, for the first time an African team has reached the quarterfinal. You would think that the African teams were human beings playing with angels. What point am I trying to make? A good leader creates a team, a champion team. And a champion team will always beat a team of champions. A team of champions is a group of individuals who all have talent but are each playing for their personal glory. That is why in Africa you see Africans only do well in individual sports, not in team sports. Kukimbia tu hivi, wanashinda hivi. Kwa kuwa one man's glory, anakimbia kabisa, tunavunja marekodi kabisa. Lakini kuja kwa kandanda, basi. Kuja kwa kandanda, hatuko. Kuja kwa netball, hatuko. Kuja kwa mpira wa kikapu, hatuko. Team sport, hatuko. Why? Because we are not a champion team. A good leader must build a team where there is delegation without abdication. A good leader delegates but does not abdicate and says the buck stops with me. A good leader encourages those who are serving under him or her, does not feel threatened. A good leader has high self-esteem. Unaona mtu hivi that makes demand. Leadership by example. We talked about time here through the chair as I conclude. I've had opportunity to serve in 3 major public institutions. And I don't tell people to come to work at 8. No, I'm in the office at 6. When you are in the office at 6 and the official reporting time is 8, people will come at 7. Because they say, sasa amekuja mkubwa ashakuja asubuhi saa 12, sasa mimi nimechelewa hivi. You are telling people to come at 8 and you are coming at 10. And then you leave after 2 hours. Then you tell them to come. Leadership must be by example. By example. I love what the President of the Republic of Kenya did and said yesterday. He said, wewe ni mtu aina gani huyu? Umeandikwa na fedha za umma, waziri, mkuu wa idara, umakuja, umechelewa. Umechelewa ukifanya nini wewe? The only thing that the president didn't do, which I wish he did, was to sack the individuals immediately. Waende nyumbani huko wakakae wakachelewe huko. Perhaps it's good to forgive them on day 1. But you can see that is how you inject discipline into the arena. And the beauty is that I'm talking to you who are leaders in your own right. And each one of you has your own style. But the style of personal example, nothing is greater than that. A leader must be respectful. And I conclude with that. Lazima uheshimu watu.
You've seen it, right? Now, the truth is that freedom is coming to Africa. But the bad news is that when the wave of freedom comes, it comes so much like a whirlwind, taking away every stumbling block out of the way of the people. Now, this is the reason why you have most of these happenings in Africa. And African leaders must do well to stop selling their followers for as little as a peanut. Because no matter how highly placed they are going to be experiencing their Waterloo. Do well to hit the comment section. Let us know what your thought is. Thank you so much to all our viewers and returning subscribers. We do not take it lightly. My name is Moses and this is Think Tank TV. Bye.